PC fam, what's going on? Welcome to another episode of Chill with Chill. This is your Saturday show. As we told you guys, we will be coming back for a second show. Y'all asked for it, you're going to get it. You'll be getting 2 shows a week from us. I believe we were actually meant to start this week due to my scheduling situation. We're working that out. We'll get back to y'all on exactly the day, but we're definitely coming with 2 more shows, y'all. We got y'all. We haven't seen y'all for a little while. Last weekend, we were down in San Francisco's Bay Area for the All-Star game. It was an amazing experience. Chill, you care to talk to the people about a little bit of that experience?
Well, first of all, we late because me. Let's put that out there. Ox sent me. Ox already had everything set up. I'm the one that's holding us up. So let's start there. This ain't got nothing to do with nobody else. Right here, I'm the one who killing us. Number 2.
And good things come to those who wait. Chill, you know.
So number 2. I mean, we had a great time in San Francisco. I said to you earlier, Ox, it felt like I was on a team again, being around you guys. Ran into Cade Cunningham, ran into Sharif Abdul-Rahim, the NBA experience. The whole thing was just great. Where we went, I keep forgetting the name of that place that we went to, Ox, on Saturday.
That was the NBA crossover event, right?
That's what I'm talking about. The NBA crossover event. That was fantastic, man. The whole setup was just great. We got some really good footage from that place. We saw a lot of different people. Like I said, Sharif Abdul-Rahim was able to catch up with him and say what's up. Mitch Richmond was there. I wasn't able to catch up with him. I would have liked that, caught up with him. We saw the professor from N1.
That's right.
He was there.
They was out there playing tools with the kids.
They was out there playing tools. So that was dope. The NBA is alive and well, folks. Don't let these people fool you, telling you that ratings are down and nobody cares about the no. Don't let anybody tell you that the NBA is alive and well.
Very well. Chill. I want to kind of, because you brought up that crossover event on the panel before earlier this week as well. I want to just talk about that for a second. The NBA crossover event was in a big convention center in San Francisco. I don't remember the name of the convention center, but it was huge. Right. Yeah. They had a full court down on this end where the G League team, there was a G League team, they were about to scrimmage. They were down there getting loose, shooting around, was open for it. A lot of kids, you could see a lot of kids googly-eyed at all of them, most the big fellas there. He's 7'1", he's huge. People are watching that. You got Stephon Castle, Rakia Jackson, people just walking in the mix, everybody's out there. But the thing about it is you got major sponsorships, major companies that have their own booth. And when I say booth, I mean a huge area where they're running their own things. They had one, I think AT&T was there, and they had a hoop that was moving like on robotic arms, just moving smoothly. Not no herky jerky. It was people got to shoot to make it. The professor's down here playing 2-on-2. They got, I'm talking about all different types of things. So the sponsors were in there showing out for the NBA. It was crazy. I mean, this is one of those events. It was like a fair. It was like a basketball fair, y'all. In any hooper's dream. Like, I loved being there. It was
interesting too, Ox, you bring that up, because I remember being in there and looking around, thinking to myself, what goes into setting something like this up? Like, you don't just put this together in a day or 2 days. Nah, we got to get the convention center. We got to figure out all the booths. We got to figure out how many people we're gonna have coming through here. We got to figure out security, because security was extra tight. Janae Abumake, she was there. A whole bunch of people, a whole bunch of people, a whole bunch of different people, a whole bunch of different atmospheres and different kind of energies were in that building, and it was great, man. It was great, and the fact that they put all of that together, I'm applauding the NBA, because All-Star Weekend is a zoo. I mean, you invading the city essentially. When you come to San Francisco, you're invading that city with 100,000, 200,000 people, maybe 500,000 people, because the NBA is alive and well, Big Ox. The NBA is alive and well, and people still love it. I don't think that the NBA is given enough credit to how many people still care about the NBA in terms of viewership. They tell us that viewership is down. I ain't buying that. I'm not buying that at all, like Ox.
And it was so dope too, because it was in San Francisco, y'all. But when we're moving around, going to all these different events, I'm meeting people from all over Northern California, San Jose, Sacramento, Stockton, Modesto, Vallejo, Vacaville, Fairfield, all over the greater Bay Area in Northern California. People are just coming into San Francisco. I mean, my son came out on Sunday. His mom brought him from Sacramento. He came to the 2K event with us. You know, that was super dope. The 2K event was great too. It wasn't as big as the other one, but it was great. So, I mean, like I said, if my son came out there on Sunday, you got to imagine how many. I know if I would have been in Sacramento, I would have brought everybody. You know what I'm saying? Let's go. You know, my nieces, nephews, everybody. Let's go check it out. You know, so man, y'all, if you ever get a chance to, y'all make sure you can try to experience an All-Star weekend, bro. It's so cool. People were everywhere. Chill. The first morning I got up, hit the gym, took a walk. Ran into Kenyon Martin and Rashad McCants. Kenyon Martin's huge. I always thought Kenyon Martin was like 6'9", but come to find out he's damn near a footer. I mean, it was dope, you know. it was definitely fire, man. That was a great event, y'all, man. Make sure you can check it out if you can. Also, another milestone. Episode 500 of the panel was yesterday. Shout out to everybody that's a part of that. Shout out to you, Chilton. Shout out to everybody that held down PC this whole time. Shout out to me. Shout out to Ron. Shout out to Shaq. Shout out to JD. Shout out to Claire, Dave. Oh man, so many people. Mars, Ticket, Low, Euro, Fluent.
Penn,
I know I missed somebody. Penn, Dub, Jordan. Man, my man Frenchie. I mean, I know, y'all. I miss some names, y'all, but they know I love them. Man, shout out to PC. Shout out to the panel for episode 500.
Yes.
But Chill, this is not the panel. This is the best show on the platform. This is Chill with Chill, and we're gonna get into some things now. Victor Wembanyama, Chill, out for the season.
Yep.
I'm no doctor, but I'm just reading different articles, listening to different conversations about it. Some people are super worried about him. Some people are like, oh, it's no big deal. They caught it early. He'll be back first game next season. We know Brandon Ingram had something similar. He's back. He's signed a whole new contract. He's doing his thing. Chris Bosh, he didn't make it through that situation. So So what do you think, Chill? What are we looking at for not only the Suns organization? What are we looking at for Victor Wembanyama in life and as a person?
Absolutely. So you being a big fella, Ox, you know that there's things that you have to deal with as a big fella that I don't. You know, you bigger than me. So just as a human, there's things that you have to deal with more than I do. So same logic with the same logic with Victor Wembanyama. You know, he's not a normal size human. So there's things that he's going to have to deal with. But as long as they're manageable, if this isn't something that's life threatening, if this is something that you can manage, because again, when you have a condition, it's something that's going to get worse over time. The fact that this was caught while he was younger, I think that's a good thing because we've seen other guys get through this. I think I told you this yesterday, Big Ox. Olajuwon had the same issue. They caught it in '89. He was in year 5 or year 6 when they ended up catching it and they were able to manage it. They had another issue with it again in 2001, but that was at the end of his career. And Olajuwon was able to, he's still alive to this day, still teaching footwork at 61 years old. So, I mean, he's doing just fine. The thing that concerned me about Victor before he showed up to the league was stuff like this. Not necessarily the blood clot, but just injuries. Because, you know, when I think about big guys his size, Jabbar is one of the few guys that was able to get through the NBA for as long as he's gotten through the NBA without injury, major injury. I mean, Jabbar did stuff like yoga. He took care of his body. He ate right. But a lot of these other guys who are built like him, not necessarily fragile, but, you know, they succumb to injuries. Ralph Sampson was one of them. Chuck Nevitt was another guy who used to play for the Detroit Pistons. How
long was Rick Smith's career? How long did he play?
Rick Smith played 12 years. Yeah, 12, Rick Smith played 12 years, but he was heftier than Wemby. Now,
right, true.
But and when he first came in the league, he was thin, but he did fill out a little bit. And the thing that I worry about with Wemby because of his body type was injuries. But this is something, again, Ox, that because it's a condition, it can be handled. If you catch it early, it can be handled and it can get dealt with. And I feel like that's what they're doing. My biggest problem with this is just right now, the development of those other guys. Because if we building a unit around you, my development is contingent on that. Because we building a unit around you, don't get me wrong, I'm going to develop my game and I'm going to get better 100%. But we building a unit around your skill set. So how I mesh with you, how much better I am with you. I'm going to work on my game. I'm going to get better. But when we developing this unit around you, all of us, our games have to be woven into what you're doing. And if you're not around, it's kind of difficult. It's kind of difficult for the development of us because we may have to look in a different direction. Luckily for Wemby, this is only short term, and we don't have to look in a different direction long. So I think this is something that could get handled, and I think we'll be good. I do.
Yeah, I've been hearing a lot of positivity as well, but I think it's just one of those things that since it is like a blood thing, it's not like a ligament, a bone. You can't really say a timeline. So I'm just happy that they're being cautious with it, sitting them for the rest of the season. Let's deal with it right now. Make sure that we can get you healthy. No need to be risking anybody's life, So
all I care about is this dude not passing out on TV and dying. Right. I'm not interested in that at all. So however long this takes to get this thing fixed, fix it. I don't care.
Right. Because if it goes into the lung area, that's a pulmonary embolism, and like that's very bad. Yeah, that's bad.
I'm not interested in that at all.
So yeah, but my only stance with that, Chill, is that I have the opposite thought process with the team. Now, there's, like I said, there's nothing good about this situation, but silver lining, I do think the development of the team, specifically on the defensive end of the court, I think it's good for him. Like when I have a 7'5" monster behind me, I might be a little lax and let you get by me. I might let him I'll go ahead. He'll block that, right? But being a shot blocker, it's contingent on the perimeter defense. Like me having more opportunities to block shots because you let guys come to me doesn't mean I'm going to get more blocks. I need you to ride your man, stay with him, and make him take a difficult shot. Because then I can come over the top and clean it up. And a lot of guards don't understand that when they have a shot blocker behind them. They think, oh, well, he'll just block it. I'm not. He's coming full speed at me. But you think what you think he's gonna do? Just put the ball in my hand? You know what I mean?
No, he's not gonna do that. No.
Right.
I still got to do my job. Even though I got you behind me, big fella, I still got to do my job, and I got to keep this guy in front of me, and I got to make it difficult. Now, if you come and block the shot off the weak side, that's because I'm in his face and I'm making him take a tough shot.
More often than not, yeah, I believe so. From my experiences, it's always been easier that way. So to me, I'm thinking this team can learn. I got to stay in front of my man. Obviously in the NBA, that's almost impossible, right? But I'm still gonna, I'm still gonna fight. I'm still gonna work. I'm gonna work harder. So when Wemby comes back, it's like not only can we can take a load off of Wemby too. It's better, and that's great for a kid that's supposed to be the best defender we've ever seen. Right. So I can see this being where by next November we're looking at this Spurs team like, yo, this is not the same team we saw last year. Because I always hear, Chill, what did they say? He's the defensive player of the year because their defense is so good when he's there and so bad when he's not. I think the addition of De'Aaron Fox, first of all, is going to help that defense when he's not on the floor. But secondly, now I believe if their defense continues to develop, that by like next November, next December, we're looking at different numbers. Like, hey, when Wemby takes a rest, the defense, of course, it's going to drop a little bit, but it doesn't drop to the bottom 3, bottom 5 in the league.
You would think that with a guy that's that good as a rim protector and a paint presence, you would think that as a defender, I'm more apt to take more risks. I'm more apt to be more aggressive on the perimeter. I'm not just going to olay and just let you go to the paint because I got this guy behind me. No, in fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try harder on defense off the strength that makes our defense even better, right? So if I got Wemby behind me, I have insurance. Now, to some degree, it could be bad, Ox. I got a couple of dollars, and my father got a couple of more dollars, so I could blow a couple of dollars. Right. Here's the thing. Okay, Pops ain't around no more, so I got to hold on to my dough now. Right? I can't just be willy-nilly with my money. Well, the same logic goes with being a defender. In fact, what it does is it makes me even more conscious about the bread that I have. Right? It makes me even more conscious about how to hold on to this money. Well, now that Wemby's not here, now I have to be more conscious about staying in front of you. So because I see your point. When Wemby comes back, Now I'm going to make it even harder on the defense because now I got him in front of me. I got this guy behind me. I can keep you in front of me. And when you do get by me, because it's almost impossible to keep guys in front of you, I can recover as much as I possibly can. But when you do get by me, I can make it hard on you. And that big fella that's behind me, he's cleaning up my mess. And what I'm trying to do, Ox, is I'm trying to minimize my mess as much as possible. I don't want you looking at me like, chill, damn, can you keep the guy out of the lane? Right? I don't want that, right? I kind of want to minimize. I want to minimize my mess as much as possible. So when we get to next year, right? When we get to next year, I'm thinking we're still going to build this defense around Wemby. And my development as a defender still is contingent on Wemby. And the reason why I say that is he is the anchor of our defense. I still got to play defense. I still got to be sound in my fundamentals. And I still have to do my job as a defender. But we do have a plan. And our plan is built around our big fella. Offensively, I'm still going to be able to get better as a pull-up jump shooter. I'm still going to be able to get better as a driver and a distributor. But our offense is still, like I said, we had a plan, and it's built around our big guy. So one or two things can happen here. My development can actually enhance what's going on with our unit, and we go, well, wait a minute. You know, Castle is a lot better than what I thought he is. So maybe we got to implement more things with Castle as opposed to just running everything through Wemby. Maybe we got to implement more things with Fox as opposed to going through Wemby. So I think it's stuff like that I think that they have to figure out, and I think they will. I think they're in a good place. Don't get me wrong. Wemby, he's got this condition, and they dealt with it, and they're going to monitor it as much as possible. But I think they're in a good space.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely is. As long as Wemby is okay, I think the Spurs are going to be a force to be reckoned with very soon. Very soon. The addition of De'Aaron Fox, while still being able to keep Devin Vassell and Stephon Castle and Keldon Johnson is still mind-boggling to me. But the fact that they were able to pull that off that was an amazing move by them. Yes. Shout out to the Spurs for sure. But with Wemby not playing 75 games, he's not going to be defensive player of the year. There's a lot of speculation that it's between Jaren Jackson and Evan Mobley. I want to talk about Jaren Jackson right now because if he were to win the defensive player of the year this season, Chill, he's up for a 5-year, $345 million Supermax extension.
Sure. And now you got to make some decisions, especially in a small market like Memphis, right? So in a small market like Memphis, now I have to look at guys like Ja Morant. I have to look at G.G. Jackson's Rook deal is coming up. I do have some sort of grace because Zach Edey's still on his Rook deal, so I do have some sort of grace in that aspect. I already paid Desmond Bane, and the fact that I own their bird rights does allow me to do some different things where I can go over the salary cap a little bit because I own I own this guy's bird rights. But you know, when you're trying to win, Ox, things get expensive and they get expensive fast. Yes, so with that being said, now I got to monitor. All right, how much is Ja playing? And should we be building this unit more around Jaren Jackson than we should around Ja? Even though I don't think that they're a better team without Ja. Even though they've won games without Ja in the lineup, I don't think they're a better team without him. I think he makes them better. But this is something that, you know, you got to figure out. The fact that Jaren Jackson has been more available. And they have been winning with him. So now we got to reevaluate how exactly we want to go about moving forward. Because, I mean, Jaren Jackson, I don't think he's going to win Defensive Player of the Year. But if he did, that'd be the second time in, 3 years that he's won Defensive Player of the Year? That'd be a big deal for him. And that'd be a big deal come negotiation time, because now Memphis is going to have to pay. We may see a situation like we just saw with Luka, where the Memphis Grizzlies might go, you know what, he might be a little bit too expensive for us, and we might have to move off of him, because I think the CBA has has put teams in spaces where the second apron throws a monkey wrench in your flexibility. So if I'm signing a guy to $300 million, I'm signing a guy to $340 million. That doesn't really leave a lot of money for a lot of other things. I mean, I know that the salary cap is going up, but things get expensive fast. So I wouldn't be surprised, Ox, if they ended up if he ended up winning Defensive Player of the Year, I wouldn't be surprised if they looked in the future and said, maybe we should move. Maybe we should move on from him off the strength that we can't. Off the strength that he might be a little bit too expensive for us. Now, I will say this too.
$69 million.
That's a lot, yo.
That's a lot of money.
Especially in a market like Memphis. Now, I will say this. This is the disappointing part of Wemby being out of the lineup, because I've been telling you since the beginning of the season, I think Evan Mobley is the Defensive Player of the Year. I still think he's going to win it, but I don't want him to win it by default, right? I don't want him to win it because, because Wemby was out of the lineup. I wanted Wemby in the lineup so we can actually have something fair where I can measure, this is the kind of season I had, this is the kind of season you had. Now, don't get me wrong, availability is your best ability, and you being healthy, that does matter. I care about, I was able to outlast you. I was able to do that, but I think that that's going to be something that people look at later on. And Wemby got hurt. That's why I'm a little bit disappointed off the strength that Wemby. That's why I'm a little bit disappointed that Wemby got hurt off the strength that that's what people are going to look at. Well, he got hurt. If he didn't get hurt, that's the reason why Evan Mobley won the Defensive Player of the Year, because I think Evan Mobley is the best defensive player in the game. I can appreciate what Wemby has done. I can appreciate what Wemby has done as a rim protector and a shot blocker. I think that Mobley is more versatile. I think he's a better rebounder. I think he's more switchable. I stuff like this is the separator between both Wemby and Evan Mobley for me. So I just was hoping I was hoping that Wemby stayed healthy so we can get a fair shake. But the fact that he couldn't hold up, that's not a me problem. No, that's not.
Right. Well, sure. The thing about that is, being healthy and on the court is a part of being the Defensive Player of the Year.
It is.
Like you weren't able to play as many games as I was able to play. That's your problem.
That's not a me problem.
That makes, if you play 55 games and I play 75 games and my defense is right there, we're on the same level of defense, I'm the Defensive Player of the Year. I played more than you. I brought more than you did. You know
shouldn't that matter? Shouldn't that matter?
Yeah, 100% it matters. That's why they got the 65 game cap or whatever you call it.
Well, we'll do this, Ox. Let's take the 65 game, qualification and requirement off the table. Let's take that off the table and let's just keep it how it is. And I did end up playing more games than you. You played 55 games. I played 70 games. And in those 70 games, I was productive. You were only productive in 55 games. Now, just because you saw me, just because I saw you in 55 games, I go, okay, that's enough. He's better. Well, wait a minute. I played more. I produced more. I was better. Why doesn't that matter?
So I look at it like this. Sure, with the same scenario, if you play 50 games and I play 72 games, and even if you are a little bit of a better defender than me, let's say in the stats, let's say statistically your defensive numbers, whatever, are a little better than mine. Right. And let's say that in the 50 games you played, y'all won a majority of those. But in the 70 games I played, we won a majority of those too. Yep. So it's not like your defense being better than mine is just significantly impacting winning.
Yep.
I'm the Defensive Player of the Year. You might, you know what I'm saying? You might be a little better than me on defense statistically, analytically, or whatever, however you want to put it. I played more. My team won the majority of the games I played in because of my defense. I'm the Defensive Player of the Year. Playing matters. You need to be on the court.
Yes, you do.
Regardless of the situation, regardless of how unfortunate the situation is, regardless of how uncontrollable the situation it is, I'm on the court. You're not. I'm the Defensive Player of the
Year. I have to agree with that off the strength that your availability matters. I know where we live today. We live in a space where the eye test is a big deal, and people they want to be more conscious of the eye test and take away from production. Well, my production matters. So what you see is not the only thing that matters. And my production is not the only thing also, right? These two things go together. So when I'm on the floor and you see me as a defensive player, you see my ability to switch. You see my ability to guard. You see my ability to guard one-on-one. You see my ability to rebound, right? You see how I'm able to stay on the floor because I'm playing smart. You see that. Mm-hmm. But then you couple that with what my production looks like. All right, well, how do I rebound in traffic, right? How am I in switches? How am I one-on-one? Well, all of that stuff matters when you put all of these two things together. If you only watch me for 30 games and you saw 20% of my production, I mean, that doesn't work. As opposed to if I watched you for 55, 60 games and I saw your production and I saw what you produced in addition to that, I have to be that's actually a fair analysis for me, as opposed to, yo, he's better than him because of the eye test. No, I can't get with that, and I will not.
Right. Right. So we are going to do today, y'all. We're going to talk about the biggest threats in the NBA post All-Star game. Okay. So for the rest of the remainder of the season, who's the most likely team to shake up the NBA? Who's most likely to make some sort of significant postseason run? Who are the threats? Then we're going to talk about that. But first, Chill, I think I can guess a team that's not going to be on that list for you. If I guess the New York Knicks, will you tell us if they're on the list? Because the Knicks are 0-6 against the top teams in the NBA this season.
0-6?
Looks like they have a problem with the big dogs.
0-6, Ox? So they haven't won one game against the big dogs this year.
Cavs, Thunder, and Celtics. Those are the big dogs, if you ask me. None.
Zero.
Zilch.
Yikes. I mean, to answer your question, the Knicks are not on my list. No, they are not. I was doing some homework, Ox. So the Celtics, they played the Knicks twice. They've beaten them by an average margin of 25 a game. Right?
The Celtics beat the Knicks by an average margin
of 25 a game. Smoked them. 25 a game. Smoked them. The Cavs played them twice, beating them by an average margin of 22 a game. Oklahoma City played them twice, have beaten them by an average margin of 18 a game. So they're not losing to these teams, Ox. They're getting smoked, right?
Wow.
So they're getting smoked by these teams. Now, some people will look at the score and go, well, the score isn't indicative. You're right. The score isn't indicative. That Oklahoma City game when they played in New York, that wasn't indicative to what it was. The game was way worse than the 27 that they beat them by. They really went into Madison Square Garden and stomped the Knicks. Don't let that score fool you. It was way worse than that. They couldn't get on the glass. They did a terrible job guarding at the long ball line. They were awful taking care of the basketball. One of the things that I saw last night when the Cavs played against the Knicks, they got dominated inside. I'm not saying that the Cavs did a good job inside. No, they got dominated inside. And that's largely due to Cat not being a rim protector or a defender. He's awful in drop. And these three teams, Boston, Oklahoma City, and Cleveland, they play a lot of pick and pop, a lot of pick and dive action. And they got guards that get to the rim heavy. Donovan Mitchell gets to the rim, right? Shea gets to the rim. When you don't have a rim protector, we basically get whatever we want. Now, don't get me wrong, Ox. I can appreciate how you feel about OG Anunoby. But, I mean, OG Anunoby can't stop everybody at the rim. No, he can't stop everybody at the rim. Cat, his pick and dive, his drop defense is one of the worst in the league. And that's a big problem for the Knicks. Huge problem for the Knicks. On top of that, they don't guard the long ball line as well. And these three teams that they play against, in order for them to have a chance to beat them, they have to outshoot them, and they don't. They don't have the personnel to do that. And on top of that, their defense isn't that good. When it comes to these three teams, they're in trouble. The New York Knicks are in a lot of trouble.
I'm gonna drop the link, y'all. I'm gonna just drop the link because we got to get into that later in a little bit. First, we are gonna get the whole list, though, y'all. We're gonna get the whole list of the 5 biggest threats post All-Star.
Yep.
Man, chill. I'm just at a loss for words because I was so high on the Knicks. I still got a little hope for the Knicks. Don't get me wrong, but I was really high on them. Really high on them.
Well, they put this unit together. When they made the trade for Cat, they made the trade for Cat because they felt more comfortable paying him than paying Julius Randle. That's why they did that, right? They made the trade for Mikal Bridges and gave up all those first-round picks to bolster their perimeter defense. They already had OG Anunoby, which I thought that Mikal Bridges was better, and they ended up paying OG Anunoby. The problem is their interior defense is just nothing. And with Mitchell Robinson not being available, they don't really have anything Yeah, with Mitchell Robinson not being available, they don't really have anything or any rim protection, any legit rim protection. I mean, they got guards on the wing that can guard. They definitely have that, and they got the best. They got arguably the best rebounder in the league. I think Sabonis is the best rebounder in the league, but they got Cat, who's one of the best rebounders in the league. With that being said, you still need a guy at the rim who can block shots. You still need a guy at the rim who can thwart shots, who can deter shots, and they don't have that, especially against these three teams that get to the rim. I mean, I think that makes things a lot more difficult for that Knicks team.
Was there a way they could have kept Isaiah Hartenstein?
No. Isaiah Hartenstein, for the money, I mean, Oklahoma City was able to pay him more. They weren't able to pay him as much. I think that they were only able to give him something like a 15% raise on top of what he already had. So to go to Oklahoma City for $80 million or stay in New York, I'm going to take my bag and I'm going to go. That just doesn't make sense.
That's a no-brainer, I suppose.
Yeah.
Let me get into a couple of these super chats before we get to the list, Chill. Let me see who we got first. We got Anthony Beltre. It's crazy how Ja Morant is washed at 25.
Ja Morant is not washed. Let's kill that logic right now. Ja Morant is still one of the most dynamic guards in the game. His scoring might be down, and I think that's largely due to him being more of a passer and more of a distributor. I think he averaging almost 8 assists a game this year, and with him averaging almost 8 assists a game, he's a lot craftier, and he's not playing above the rim. And I think he's doing that to preserve himself. I don't think he's washed at all. I just think that he's one of those guys that's trying to preserve his career and playing smarter. The game is slowing down for him.
Okay. Shout out to you, Anthony Beltre. You've been a member for 3 months. Shout out to him. Another super chat from Void Century. Ox, chill. Where does Miami go from here? Bam and Hero are twos on champ teams. Jovic and Ware show crazy potential, but still young. Davion and Wiggins on defense are great, but Hero needs help scoring, and we got 2 first-round picks this year.
Well, first of all, you don't. Well, number one, Void, I don't know if you know who Ware is. I mean, I think Ware is in the conversation for being Rookie of the Year. I don't know how good he's going to be, but I do think that he helps. You say that both Hero and Bam are twos on championship teams. Well, I mean, do you need a guy that's 35 a game? I mean, I don't know if we need that. I think that this team is built more kind of like what's going on with Dallas, where you got a big man who can score, and he's your defensive anchor. You got a 4 who you run the offense through. You got a perimeter guy who can knock down open shots. But your game is gonna be built primarily on defense. I do think that you need a lead guard more than anything. I think that you need a lead guard more than anything, and I know that Pat Riley over this summer, he's going big. He's definitely going big.
You said that you thought Davion was a starting point guard in the league.
I do think he's the starting league guard, 100%. So,
but not the one for them.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I forgot he was down there, Ox. I did. I forgot that they just traded for him. So I'd like to see Davion Mitchell over the course of the next season and a half. Then I can get a better gauge on him, because I know what kind of player he is, but I'm not sure if he's the fit for them. Even though I like him with them, I'm just not sure. Right. So I want to see what he looks like with them more than anything. I think I definitely think Davion needs to be able to score more, because in this league, as a league guard, you have to be able to score. Go ahead. Me and Mars had this conversation. We were talking about Stockton and Stockton's ability to pass. And I said how underrated I feel like Stockton was as a scorer. And I said if he played today, he would have to score more. And in this league, as a league guard, you can't just be relegated to being a distributor, because there's too much space. Not only is there too much space, there's too much space. There's too much space on the perimeter, and there's too much space at the rim where you are just a guy that's just giving the ball to other guys. You have to be able to score. And I feel like Davion Mitchell, in that Miami Heat system, as a defender, he has to be able to score it. And if he can't score it, then he's not the guy.
Right. I do believe Davion probably is better off the bench with them. I'll put the ball in Hero's hands. Let him be the ball handler, because I need, like you said, they need more scoring out there. I think it's time to put Jovic into the mix and let him get his minutes in. You need some more scoring out there. I think Davion's definitely better off the bench, especially if Ware ends up being let's call him an 18-10 guy, 18-9. I think if Ware could get something like that, I think Miami's all right, but they do need help scoring. They need to score the basketball.
They 100% do.
They need to score the basketball.
Yep.
Realist 123. AR-15 doesn't get enough flowers. He's been so good this year. Don't be surprised if he torches the Nuggets tonight. Could have been an all-star this year.
I'm not doing that. Okay, we ain't going that far. However, I always liked Reeves' chemistry with Anthony Davis. I always felt like they were good together. I mean, him and Anthony Davis in that pick and dive and that pick and pop offense, because he was able to keep defenses honest, and his ability to knock down open shots when playing in the pick and pop and the pick and roll. James plays off of him a lot too in that offense, so that works in that aspect. I just think that on the defensive end, he can be a bit of a liability. That's why you had guys like Max Christie to protect him. But in this particular situation with this group, I think that he'll thrive off the strength of him being on the same team with James and Luka. He's going to get a lot more open shots. That's gonna definitely help him.
Okay. From Jay, does Butler play eerily similar to LeBron? Both can control the pace of the game and attack your team's weakness.
I don't think Butler plays similar to LeBron. I think that Jimmy Butler, one of the main reasons why he is what he is because he makes it clear that you are not better than me at what I do. And what I do is play and stay within my game. Like, if you notice, like, you never see Jimmy Butler throwing the ball between his legs 5-6 times. You never see Jimmy Butler, super freak athlete. None of that stuff. Jimmy Butler is catch, go, one dribble, two dribble, pull up, get in the post. He'll knock down an open three. He'll defend. Jimmy Butler's confidence is what it is because he is convinced that you can't outplay me at what I do. Right. He's great within his game. I don't think that he's similar to James because James controls the game in so many different aspects. He's got the ball in his hands way more than Butler. He plays faster than Butler. Butler plays off the ball, I think, more than him. And with that being said, Butler's just so good at what he does. He makes himself so dangerous because he doesn't play outside of himself.
Yeah, definitely. Shout out to Jimmy.
Yes.
Okay. Let's get into it, chill. We got some guys in the lobby, so let's get through the All-Star, post-All-Star game threats. I'm sorry.
Yep.
Let's talk about the post-All-Star game threats. We got 5 teams. Let's start at number 5, chill.
At number 5, I got now there was a team that literally missed the cut, and they missed the cut because I had to choose between them. I had to choose between them and Houston. And the reason why I had to choose between them and Houston is because I think Houston can beat them. I think Houston will give them trouble in the playoffs. I think Houston will give them a lot of trouble in the playoffs, and that's Memphis. Memphis barely missed the cut. Memphis barely missed the cut, and Indiana. Indiana is 10-10. They're 500 against playoff teams in the East. I don't like the fact that they've given up 100 and almost 30 a game. Pre-All-Star break. I mean, I think they've won 3 of their last 4 games, but that kind of stuff worries me a little bit. But the 5th team that I'm thinking about is the Detroit Pistons. I mean, they've won 7 of their last 9 games, Ox.
You got Detroit at 4?
I got Detroit at 5.
Detroit at 5, so Houston's not 5.
Hold on, let me get my list together. Let me make sure that I got this down, Big Ox, so I know exactly. Real quick before you do keep going, I want to just to the people. Let me let y'all know the top 3 teams that's been leading the NBA all season. They're not on this list, so you won't see the Celtics, you won't see the Thunder, you won't see the Cleveland, Cavaliers on this list. Cleveland, OKC, Boston, you won't see them on this list. We're going off the 5 teams that are most likely to shake things up. Yes.
So if the Cavs and the Thunder continue their dominance, it's not really shaking things up. So we didn't add those 3 teams in. Right. So don't expect to see those teams. And when you don't see those teams, don't throw a fit. Okay.
Right. So because it's not like we don't know who these guys are. We know who the Celtics are. We know who the Cavs are. We know who Oklahoma City is. So we excluded them. No, we did. Right. We're just talking about other teams who we think can shake things up. And at number 5, I got the Pistons. I got the
You
Detroit
got the
Pistons
Pistons
at
at 5.
I got Detroit at number 5, Ox. I think that this is a team that won 7 of their last 9 games, including they won 5 straight, right? They won 5 straight. They holding teams to I think 105. That's well below league average. Now, Cade Cunningham's got to do a better job in taking care of the ball. 4 of the last 5 games, that's 17 turnovers. That's 4 turnovers a game. He's got to do a better job in taking care of the ball. But Jalen Duren has been really good for this team. I said before the season that they would be a lot better than what they are. I didn't think that they'd be a playoff team. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I thought that they'd be a playoff team, Ox. I'd be lying if I thought that. But I think they're going to make the playoffs. I don't think they're a play-in team. I think they're going to make the playoffs. And I think that they can make some noise, especially if they end up seeing a team like the Knicks in round 1. I think that they'll give the Knicks hell. 100%, I believe that. Detroit, I have at 5. At number 4, I got the Golden State Warriors. Now, what you asking when Draymond said that they're going to win the NBA championship, right? When Draymond said that they're going to win the NBA championship, he essentially told us that we got everything necessary in order to win it. Now we got Jimmy Butler. He pushes us over the top. Everything else, we already got it. They're second in the league in bench points. They're in the top 10 in the league in defense, right? Top 10 in the league in defense. Jimmy Butler getting on the roster. He's 20 a game. There's your secondary scorer right there. So essentially what you asking Steph Curry to do is you asking Steph Curry to put the cape on. Steph, can you put the cape on for 6 weeks? Can you put the cape on for 2 months and be Steph Curry? I ain't saying that you got to be Steph Curry for 8 more months. No, can you put the cape on for 2 more months, 3 more months, and be Steph Curry? And Jimmy, can you give us one of those all-time great series? That's not saying that he's got to be like that. And I know what you're thinking, Ox, because we already seen him do it, right? We've already seen Jimmy Butler do it. We've already seen him give us. He's good for one of those series in the playoffs. Just one. He's good for one. If you could give us one of those great series, and if Steph Curry can put on the cape, we got the production that we need from the bench. Our defense is great. I think they can be dangerous. I didn't like Golden State before the season started. I didn't like their scorer, and I didn't like their secondary scorer. I thought that they wouldn't make the playoffs, but you add 20 a game and Jimmy Butler, I think you're in business. I do. I think you got something going on.
If Buddy, Moses, Pods, if they the 3 of them just decide to shoot collectively, I'm not saying Pods got to hit 5. I'm not saying Moses got to hit 5. I'm not saying Buddy got to hit 8. I'm just saying if they collectively, those 3 collectively just decide to do some shooting.
Yep.
Kevon in Davis, if they decide to do some supreme rebounding, you know what I'm saying? Some real rebounding, both ends of the floor. I'm talking about real dog rebounding, like Kevon did in 2023. Eat the glass, shit. Yeah, if those 2 decide to collectively do that, you might be looking at your championship.
You might be. You might be looking at your championship. I mean,
I'm never gonna put money against Steph Curry. If he has a competent team, I would never put money against Steph Curry.
Well, you told me this before you and me had this conversation before the season started when Steve Kerr told us this might be the deepest team he's ever had, right? And I was like, wait a minute. I mean, that 2016 team was pretty deep. Like that 2015 team was pretty deep. Let's chill out, coach. Hold on. But then I'm looking at this crew, again, second in the league in bench points. They get buckets. They get production off the bench. One of the best defensive teams in the game. They get buckets. They get production off the bench. The question that needs to be answered is, can Steph Curry, who, for all intents and purposes, Ox, you think he's the most dangerous guy in NBA history. So can he put the cape on for 6 months and turn into Steph Curry 22, turn into Steph Curry 18? Can he do that for just 6 weeks? If he can do that, we're looking at something. We're looking at something substantially different than what we saw about a month or 2 months ago, when I didn't think that this team was even going to make the playoffs. I did not.
Right.
No.
Right.
Okay,
who you got at 3?
At number 3, Ox. And I know that it doesn't look like it right now, but they're getting Anthony Davis back soon.
Oh,
they're getting Anthony Davis back soon. They're going to get Gafford back. They're going to get Lively back. The way that this team is put together, Davis, Gafford, Lively, Marshall, PJ Washington, Irv. I love what I'm seeing from this crew. I love it. I think that they can be elite on defense. I think that Kyrie Irving, I think he's averaging 30 a game over his last 3 games. And I think Kyrie Irving, I think Kyrie Irving, I think he's going to play well off of Anthony Davis because you got a big that's a pick and pop big. You also got a big that's elite around the rim. Now, he's not great on the box as a passer, but I think that that's going to be supplemented by guys like Kyrie Irving. I think that's going to be supplemented by guys like Najee Marshall, right, who can knock down open shots. With that all being said, the defense is going to be the key to this Dallas team. And if they could get healthy at the right time and go into the playoffs with health, oh man, they're going to be trouble. They're going to be a lot of trouble.
I believe so. I see. Yeah. I know I don't want to take us back. You know, I want to always progress us forward. But I just want to explain to people the Steph Curry effect real quick, because I'm looking at the comments. Y'all got to understand, like, there's players like Jokic that can control pace, control teams, control offenses, and get assists and get buckets. But when you have a weapon, Steph Curry has a weapon that deads all of that. Like, Steph Curry could really come down and just bang, bang. Like, y'all have to work to do all that. My dudes can kick it. Come on, give me open real quick. Bang. We back. Like, we back. It happens that quick. And everybody else doesn't have that weapon. They have weapons, but they're not the same. It's not the same. Like, Steph is the most dangerous man walking. At any moment, he can bing, 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 bing. And it's just over. It's over. But okay, let's
Well, this is the question that I ask when I think about Steph Curry, because I already know what I'm dealing with James. I already know what I'm dealing with SGA. I know what I'm dealing with Joker. Steph Curry has the kind of game that can completely flip a series on its ear. That's the kind of game he has, where he could get going and he can take control of a series. We've seen him do that. Right? We've seen him do that. The question is at his advanced age, can I get that from him that I got in the past?
Right.
That's my question.
Yeah, and so the thing about it, Chill, obviously I want to make this very clear too.
Yeah.
He can't do it by himself. Steph not that no more. He not that no more. And he never had Bron's consistent level of carryability. He's so dangerous and he has the weapons that he can compete with that, but he doesn't have that now, and I don't think he actually ever did have that. But with the competent team, with a guy like Jimmy Butler, playoff Jimmy we talking about, with Draymond Green, and then if we got some guys that want to rebound and knock down open threes, now that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying this Jimmy Butler, I'm sorry, Steph Curry with the Wizards. No, they're not dangerous. No, they're not dangerous. They're not a threat. But Steph Curry with competent teammates, that's what I'm talking about. So let me just make sure I'm saying that correctly. I'm not saying Steph Curry is just, we can't beat Steph with anybody, but with a competent team, I believe Steph Curry is the most dangerous man that we've ever seen walking.
Yeah, fair enough. So this number 2 team, I think that some people wouldn't agree, but I just like what I see from them. I've been talking about them before the season started, and I'm standing on it. I love their defense, and that's the Houston Rockets. Jalen Green is 24 game over the last 11 games. They won 3 of their last 4 after losing 6 straight, and they're getting it back together. They're definitely getting it back together. I think they're 5th in the league in defense. I don't like the fact that Sengun is shooting 54% on layups. I don't like that. He should be more efficient around the rim than he is. That's not going to get it done.
Crazy.
That is not going to get it done.
A lot.
Yes, he was missing a lot of shots last night. That's not going to get it done. But what I didn't do is I didn't give Jalen Green enough credit for his ability to get downhill and get to the rim and attack the rim. I don't give him enough credit for that. And the reason why is because a lot of times I pay attention to him, off the dribble shots and like pull up threes, which could be bad shots from time to time. Even though he knocked down a bunch of them yesterday. And I don't expect 35 a game, because if I'm getting 35 a game from him, And if Sengun can make more layups, Houston's going to be an even bigger problem. I'm not getting 35 a game from Jalen Green, but I do think, right? I do think that Sengun can be better around the rim. I do think that, and with how well this team plays defense, they're one of the better defensive rebounding teams in the game, which means that they hold teams to one shot. I watched them play against Memphis, and I watched how Steven Adams basically kept Jaren Jackson at bay, kept him off the glass, kept him away from the rim. This is a rotation guy. Now they've gotten Jabari Smith back in the lineup, who's also stretching the defense. I think this team's going to be trouble. I feel like they're getting healthy at the right time, Ox.
Yeah, that was a good game we saw last night from them as well. We were on playback last night. Yep. The thing about Sengun Chills, I'm not concerned about it.
Yeah,
like with the missing the layups, because he has touch and we've seen him before not miss at this rate. Yeah. But he has a different type of play style. He has good footwork, good touch. I honestly think he might be rushing a little bit, trying to get it up there. And on top of that, sometimes it's just a lid there. I think he might need to do some meditating or something. Like, just relax, big fella. Like chill, like, yeah, calm down. It's all good. Do some yoga in the morning. You know what I mean? Sleep with the wave crashing sound. Just calm down a little bit. Like, and I'm being serious, y'all. Like, I'm
open the windows, bro. Open the windows, big fella. Open them up. Open them up. Get some fresh air now.
Sometimes you're just a little tense. Sometimes it's just like, I'm just, moving. You gotta calm down a little bit. It's gonna drop though. He gotta breathe and relax. I don't think Sengun is anything to worry about, y'all.
And they got a damn good coach over there too, Ox, and Coach Udoka. I think he does a good job of keeping them dudes focused. I think he does a good job in his schemes. I think he understands rotations, which I think is a big deal. I've always felt like that was a big deal with him. So with all of that being said, I'm looking at this crew, and I'm looking at this crew. I'm not sure how deep they could go, but I mean, if Jalen Green consistently gets downhill and finishes at the rim like he is, if he can consistently do that, and if he can consistently knock down open shots or that one dribble pull up, plus with Dylan Brooks, now Jabari Smith back in the lineup, they're gonna be trouble. They are going to be trouble.
Yes, no doubt. So, Chill, who do you have number one?
I mean, Ox, you said that we're leaving out Oklahoma City, we're leaving out the Knicks. I'm sorry, we're leaving out Oklahoma City, we're leaving out the Cavs, and we're leaving out the Celtics. Well, I can tell you who we're not leaving out, and we ain't leaving out Joker. We are not leaving Joker out. Hell no. I mean, the Denver Nuggets have won 9 straight games. With them winning 9 straight games, I mean, Jamal Murray is averaging 29 and 5 over his last 5 games on 2 turnovers, doing a better job in taking care of the basketball. Christian Brown has been really good. I mean, Russell Westbrook just got back in the lineup. I'd like to see Russ do a better job in taking care of the ball. Right, I'd like to see Russ do a better job in taking care of the ball. I think over his last 2 games, he's got 11 turnovers, so he's got to do a better job in taking care of the ball. But since Aaron Gordon has gotten back in the lineup, I mean, they 13 and 3. He's been great. I already know what Christian Brown is as a transition player and as a defender. Their rotation has been really good, and I mean, Joker's up for league MVP. He's the best player in the league, and Denver's got one of those schedules where it could be real favorable. They're back at, I think they've made it up to the 2 spot. So with them, they were at the 5 spot like a month ago. They're now in the 2 spot. So this is a Denver team that I'm thinking to myself, man, as long as they got Joker and he's playing the way he's playing and he's healthy, with Jamal Murray getting back into form, they are going to be trouble. They are going to be. I don't think anybody wants to see them. None of them.
They always got action with Jokic.
Always.
As long as Jamal comes to play, they always got action.
Always.
Here's Chill's biggest threats post All-Star break, y'all. Feast your eyes on this. Right here, we have the Pistons at 5, the Warriors at 4, Mavericks at 3, Houston Rockets at 2, and the Denver Nuggets at 1. This is it, y'all. Y'all go ahead and get in the comment section. Let us know how you feel. Chill, I hate it when I do this. I know it's no big deal. I just want to point this out real quick, but this irks my nerves when I do this. See how I got the Nuggets, Mavericks, Warriors, and Pistons, and then at 2 I put Houston instead of Rockets. Just hate it when I do this. You know what I'm saying? So I got to be consistent. So now it should say Denver, Houston, Dallas, Golden State, Detroit. Hate when I do that.
It's not the Houston, just the Rockets.
Right. Yeah. It should just be the Rockets right there.
Not the Houstons. No, that's not who they are.
Yeah, I hate it when I do that. Okay. 1K David says, you're not selling us on the Warriors being scary. That's Kings fan talk. Why would it? What? How does that correlate? Kings fan talk, and I'm selling you the Warriors?
I think he's looking at because how the Kings have fared against the Warriors, and they just beat them last night, and
they just
maybe the Warriors, maybe the Warriors aren't as good as. I mean, I think they won 4 of the last 5 with Jimmy Butler in the lineup. He's averaging 20 a game. There's your secondary scorer right there. So I mean, they back in business. They are back in business, 100%. You can't deny, and I'm not a huge Jimmy Butler guy, but when you add something like that to your lineup and the chemistry that they already have, I have to believe that they're better. I have to believe that because the proof is in the pudding. The proof is right there in front of me. They have been better. So are they going to win the NBA championship? I don't think they're that good. No, I don't. But I think that they're going to be dangerous. I think that they're going to cause trouble. I don't think Curry can put the cape on. That's why I asked the question. Can Curry put the cape on for a month and a half, 2 months? Can he do that? I don't think he can do it. No. I do think he can give me a series, though, just like I think Jimmy Butler can give me a series. Can you do that at this advanced age for 2 months? I don't think they can do it. No.
Right. Well, I know what y'all can do. What y'all can do is make sure you get over to Playback TV tonight. What time is this, Chill? I'm sorry. You guys on 8:30 Eastern time tonight. Playback TV. You will catch Chill and Jordan watching the Los Angeles Lakers take on the Denver Nuggets. Once again, that will be on Playback TV. If you don't got it, make sure you get it. You don't want to miss it. Playback is one of the dopest things going right now, y'all. You can actually watch the game with Chill, with me, with Ron, with Jordan, with Penn. Gil popped up on this last night. He kicked us for a little while, celebrating 500 episodes. You never know who you'll see on Playback. I saw Kevin Garnett on Playback the other day. You never know when we might get on there with him. So y'all make sure y'all don't miss any playbacks, bro. You can watch games. We breaking down ball. It doesn't get much better than that. Playback TV tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern. Don't be late. Don't be late, y'all.
Hey, KG, if you watching, brother, you can pull up. Yeah, pull up, man. Come through. Come kick it with us for a little bit.
No doubt. No doubt.
Pull up.
So now it's time for y'all favorite part of the show, where y'all get to come up here and finally chill with Chill. Who we got first? My man Cowboy Bob been in the back waiting for quite some time. Let's get him up here. What's up, Cowboy?
Salute. How you guys doing?
What up?
Chilling, man.
Sorry about the hat. My ex
I was about to say.
Hat. I know, but she took my hat and said I have to get it back when I get back with her. So I'm like, nah, I got to get me a new hat. So it's one of those dramas.
She can have that hat. I'll get another one. Yeah, I'll get another one.
Real quick, keep the hat. Damn that hat.
Yeah, exactly. But I wanted to say with the top 5 list, though, instead of the Mavs, I would have put the Bucks because a lot of people forget how good Giannis is and how Dame's pick and roll is. If them two work on that, with also Brook Lopez, I think that they're also a sleeper. But I just wanted to say I love the show. I'm always on. You guys are awesome. But I just got to talk about the Knicks. Remember when earlier in the season we talked about how the Cat trade would work out?
Yep.
I knew it would make our offense this well, but it shows more of the lapses that Cat has on defense.
Yep.
For example, I was talking to my Uncle Freezy on Blue Orange Tears last night. We were doing a show. He even said that Cat gets beat a lot because when he turns to get the defender off of the pick and roll, if you have a guy like Trae Young or you have a sufficient point guard, he got beat because he's going to get beat with the lob. He's going to get beat with that entry pass. Most of that you can't teach him. But when he had Gobert in the back, he was able to make up for it. Yep. He's our prime defender. And the only one that can really do well with switches, to me, is OG. And we haven't had him. So our problem with the Knicks is our bench. You got Airport, who's good. He's been doing really well. You also have Packham Dadier, who I think if you put him at the 3 and move Bridges to the 2 and have OG at the 4 and then have Cat at the 5, I think that will work out better because Packham's defense is primarily why we drafted him so early. With that being said, he can also help with the height deficiency. If they try to do a switch, he could come up and try to pick up for like how Boston did, your boy Tatum did shooting over Brunson.
Yep.
That's what I'm talking about. He could come in and close out on that because he's a defensive player. But we have to use our bench. Our offense is 3rd in the league, so we improved on that. And our defense, when we have OG, we're 8th, but then when we don't have him, we're 13th. So
Right.
we're good. So for me, it's not that I feel like we are missing anything, because technically we have a good 9-10 man rotation if we add those 3 players. You know, Huckaporty.
Well, you know who Tibbs is. Tibbs is one of those guys who he's going to play as rotation guys, but you better do something. You better do something quick, otherwise your ass going to be sitting on the bench.
But if you see how Packham was playing the other night, like last night, Packham, when he came in the game, how effective was he? Defense locked up. And then even look at how McBride's game did the previous game. McBride got like 4 steals, and he was doing really well. So for the most part, when you look at the Knicks, we're just a young team trying to figure out how to make this work, and we have to get a coach that could bring the bench in more. Like if we rest our guys, because look at last night, Donovan Mitchell had the most points. He got 31 minutes.
Yeah,
you have to find a way to rest your guys that are key, like Cat. You got to rest Brunson. You got to find a way to do that.
But do you have the personnel though? Because I think Cleveland has the personnel for that. I don't think you guys have the personnel for that. I don't think it's a matter of Tibbs not playing those guys. I think that Cleveland's bench is better than you. I mean, they got 9-10 guys. Now that might shorten come playoff time, but as of right now, they got almost 10 guys, legit guys. I mean, the rook that you have, the point guard from Marquette, he doesn't hardly play. I don't know why.
Tyler Kolek.
I think Kolek can play, but he hardly plays. I'm not sure how far Campaign can take you, because 1 minute he looks like one of the better backup league guards in the game, and then the next he looks like he shouldn't be playing at all. So, I mean, when I think about Cleveland, I think that their rotation is better than yours. I think Boston's rotation is better than yours. Oklahoma City, I mean, I won't even get into that, but I don't think it's coaching more than it's personnel.
But if you really think about it, though, the problem with what's his name? You just said it. Oh, dang, I can't believe I forgot his name.
Kolek.
Yeah. No, not Kolek.
Campaign. Campaign.
Yeah, Campaign. Campaign's problem is that we have him on Shumpert, and they both occupy the same spaces. So a lot of times when he was missing his spots, it was because Campaign was coming to do the same runs that he was doing. So when you look at how those two were running, they're running the same plays, and they were conflicting with each other. So Campaign has to go ahead and find a new way to work. Yeah. But if you really look at it, if we use our bench, because Precious has been garbage, but if you use Ariel more, he's more of a defender. He'll get you the blocks. He'll get you the rebound, and he wants to play. Look at the key block that he had when he went straight up and blocked the hell out of that ball against Chicago. Like, oh boy, didn't even have a chance. He did a clean block. Like, the way that we play, I think if we use the bench more, we will be more effective, especially with Kolek as a ball handler. But the problem is, our
real quick though, Cowboy, I had to cut you off. I had to cut you off though, Cowboy. But we do got to keep it moving. We got a couple more guys in the
Thank you guys. Lobby, go New York, go New York, go. Y'all be good, man. All right, I'll see y'all later. Peace.
Later,
all right, good to see you, Cowboy.
Yes, sir.
Good to see you too, guys.
Yeah, been a minute since Cowboy put up, man. Shout out to him.
Yes. Been a minute since.
Okay, Toast. Yeah. See, Toast. I was confused too. I meant to ask him before he left because he said Iman Shumpert. I guess he meant. I think he meant Landry Shamet, right?
That's who he meant. He meant
Landry Shamet. Okay, yeah, good. Thanks for that, Toast. Because I was confused too. Who we have next? Oh, my main man, Leaf Diggy. What's up with you?
What up?
First off, I just want to say congratulations to y'all on 500 episode. That was a pretty good milestone. I mean, I've been messing with y'all for about like 2.5, almost 3 years now. Y'all some of my favorite people on YouTube, man. Just talking about shit.
I heard that.
Yeah, definitely.
I know. You can say that again, Leaf. I know I'm your favorite person on the internet.
Yeah. Whatever. Yeah, but
what's good though, Leaf?
The list, Chilltown, I actually agree with a good portion of the list. Houston and Dallas is probably my only problematic. Houston, I don't believe they're gonna do shit in the postseason. And Dallas, with them injuries and with AD being a ticking time bomb, come on, man. Like I'm not trusting in that. I can't trust it already. And I don't think most of Dallas trust it. But I mean, if it does get better, like you said it is, man, I guess I have to take your word for it. But you did tell me that Houston was going to have a good season. I just don't believe in them in the postseason. Now, the rest of the teams, I think you meant the Pistons. Pistons, they could run up on somebody in the playoffs.
If the season ended today, they'd have to see the Knicks in round 1. I think that's a matchup that the Knicks gonna have some trouble with, because I think Cade Cunningham could give Brunson hell. I think he could give him a lot of hell.
Absolutely.
And I think Jalen Duren, I think as a rebounder, I think that they could slow the Knicks offense down, and I think he can get a lot of buckets around the rim because Cat, we already seen what he looked like in drop coverage. We already seen what he looked like as a rim protector. So I think they can, and they beat the Knicks twice this year, by the way.
They beat the Knicks twice. Yeah, absolutely.
I think they can get him hell.
The Pistons, I think the Pistons have better spacing with they veteran shooters. You know, they got Beasley, they got Tobias Harris, they got Tim Hardaway Jr. I can't believe I just said that name, but yeah, but they got
they do a lot of things. They don't do one thing great. They do a bunch of things really good. Like they shoot it. They got a couple of guys who are really good shooters. They got really good rebounders, right? They got
really good
scorer.
defenders.
Right. They don't do one thing awesome. They just do a couple of things really good, which is really good for them. Really good for them.
Yeah, it's very good for them. And now I gotta get to the Warriors, which is the sad part about this conversation, because if there was ever a time where I wish David Stern was still the commissioner, it's right now.
Wow.
This shit is ridiculous. I know good and damn well, bro. Like you talked about it the other day on the show. Luka would not be in LA if David Stern is still in charge of this league, and me and you both know that. And I think the same for Jimmy Butler and the Warriors, bro. But this shit is ridiculous. You laughing, bro. Like, look,
I'm laughing because I'm thinking to myself, the fact that they were able to keep this as quiet as they did, and when Luka gets traded out the blue, David Stern would have been online like, "Yo, what's going on? What the hell?
What the hell are we doing? What the hell is that?
What the hell is happening?"
What did he do, Chill? He put the kibosh on it.
I truly believe he would have vetoed every bit of that. But
hell no, we ain't doing that. No way.
The Warriors, listen, we saw what Jimmy Butler looked like with a team that shot 40% on contested threes a couple of years ago on their way to the finals. Now you gave him the Steph.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and we talked about Steph putting on the cape. Bobby, I told your crazy ass like 2 years ago that Steph was gonna put on the cape after y'all lost game 4, and when y'all was supposed to win that game. And I told your ass, bro, then, and I'm telling your ass now about putting on the cape. Now you got another person that can put on the cape. Chill. His name is Jimmy Butler.
Mm.
So
you're not happy to see that, Leaf? I mean, they're doing good.
Hell fucking no.
Mm.
This is a family show, Leaf.
My bad.
Leaf don't want to. Leaf is over the light skin dude. Leaf is over that. He's over.
I'm over the 2010s. I'm over the light skin dudes. I'm over all of this shit.
Leaf, I gotta let you go, brother. I gotta let you go, Leaf. It ain't because you using swear words on the family show. It's just the time constraints we got today.
Yeah.
I gotta get on. I gotta get on. Appreciate you though, Lee. Right. Shout out to you.
Don't ban me.
Get ready for next week. We're going back to 2 shows a week, so y'all get ready for that, man. Be ready for sure. I'm gonna see you soon.
I'm gonna mess around and creep up on one of them. Yeah.
No doubt. Real quick before we get to our next caller. I got Cashmere with the super chat. He says, "Sup, fellas? If y'all was starting your own team today, who would y'all take? Cade Cunningham or Jalen Green?"
If I'm starting a team, who am I taking? Cade Cunningham. Cunningham. I think there's more of an upside for Cunningham than it is for Jalen Green. Yes,
I think it's a lot easier to build around Cade.
I could do more with him than I can with Jalen Green.
Yeah, much more options. Also, let me remind y'all one more time tonight. Don't be late to playback. Get there today at 8 p.m. Eastern time. That means the game's going to start around 8:15 p.m. Eastern time, but just get there. Make sure you're on time. The Los Angeles Lakers will be taking on the Denver Nuggets. Chill, you're going to be up there with Jordan tonight?
Mm-hmm.
All right, man. Y'all make sure do not be late to that. We got a couple more callers. Let's get through them. My man, Big Fan Breezy. What's up, fam?
Brooklyn in the house.
Yo, good seeing y'all. All-Star Weekend. I appreciate the content. You know I love you guys. Love the content. And I started that way to say that I'm really not a villain. You know what I mean? I'm painted that way. But I wanted to say that dude is not Cowboy Bob no more. You know what I'm saying? He's just Bob. The other day I had sent a super chat and I said that OKC is, you know what I'm saying, gonna be the next team. And I got that from Chill. So I just want the chat to know I got that take from Chill. I was really saying that the Brooklyn Nets are gonna be soon, and I was naming the teams, but Chill was the one who was saying that the Thunder could win it as in, you know, to the show. I didn't see why you ain't make them as a threat for after the All-Star break.
We put the Cavs, Oklahoma City, and Boston. We kept those 3 teams out. That's why.
Oh, they short threats though.
Yeah, we kept them 3 teams out. Everybody else, I was figuring out who else could be threats as opposed to those 3 as opposed to those 3 guys, because we already know who they're going to be.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And again, I just wanted to show love. I know that it's a lot of people in the lobby, but I just wanted to give you credit to that, because I ain't want people to think that I don't steal takes or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? So
don't
I
bite
just
rhymes. He from Brooklyn. We don't bite rhymes. Nah, we can't do that.
No doubt.
Word. But
Nah.
but yeah. Also, before I leave, I just wanted to say that you know, the Brooklyn Nets, we missing offense, but our defense is really tough. You know what I'm saying? And I said that to say that I see when you building a team from the draft or whatnot, that you have to do it. And what's essential to, in my opinion, Chill, and I'm want to hear your take on it. Is the coaching. I think it's 40%, 40 to 45% coaching, and the rest is talent. The talent is more important than the coaching, but the coaching is essential. Just your thoughts on that.
I think the Brooklyn Nets, I think over the last month, they got the best defensive rating in the NBA. And I'm not a big fan of defensive rating, but I think they got the best defensive rating in the NBA over the last month. And as a coach, you got to get the guys to buy into your system. You have to do that, because if you don't, then you're going to have what Houston had 2 years ago. You're going to have guys swinging from the chandelier. You're going to have Animal House. If you got guys to buy into your system and it works, you're going to be successful. And the way that starts is they have to respect who you are, and they got to respect what you do, and they got to believe in what you're doing. If they don't believe in it, it's not going to work. Absolutely not.
Right.
Well,
right.
nah, thanks guys.
Absolutely.
No doubt. All right, Breezy.
All right, later.
Okay.
Yeah.
We got one more caller. Let's get to it. My man Classic. What's up, Classic?
What up?
Yo, what up, guys?
What up?
Wait, Classic, real quick. You up here to spread some propaganda about firing my man Eric Spoelstra?
And nope, it's gonna be something else, but it's gonna be good though. So give him a minute, Ox. It's gonna be something good. So give him a minute, brother.
They've been looking pretty good lately. The Heat. So
No
I mean, like what they like the 6th seed or 5th seed now?
6, I believe.
See, I mean that's still mid.
No, they 7. I mean, they 7.
7?
Detroit,
oh yeah, no. Well, I'm gonna stand on that then. I think he should.
Oh no,
I'm
Miami's
cool
8.
Oh, they 8? Okay. Yeah, they 8.
Yeah,
Miami's
never mind.
8. Orlando's 7.
Yeah, I'm gonna stand on that. I think it might be time for a change. But I like one of the threats that I really like is the Memphis Grizzlies. I think they're gonna be really good in the playoffs, and I think that Jaren Jackson, he's taking a major lead this year, and it's crazy that I actually think he's worth that supermax contract, and I think they should go ahead and get rid of Ja, because I mean Ja is good, but I think that they can be even better if they solely focus on building the team around Jaren Jackson instead of Ja Morant.
That's why they would do it, Classic. That's exactly why they would do it in terms of that supermax, is because they moving on from Ja, because of the second apron and because of the CBA. They would move on from Ja, and they would build that unit now around Jaren Jackson. He would be the focal point, and it would be more of a defensive unit. Even though Jaren Jackson is a lot better scorer than I gave him credit for, But that's if they would end up signing him to that extension, that's exactly why they would do it, no doubt.
Yeah, the game that really impressed me was when he played the Celtics. It was a while ago, and he's a great scorer. And I actually believe that as of right now, I think he's better than Anthony Davis, which is why I'm cool with them giving him the supermax. Which is why it's also kind of wild that when they traded Luka, they didn't ask more teams, because I think that the Mavericks would be even better if they had Jaren Jackson rather than Anthony Davis. Even though Anthony Davis is great, I think Jaren Jackson has reached that level now.
What is Jaren Jackson in your estimation what has he done to be better than Anthony Davis? Because it sounds like you think he's better than him as a player. On what level is he better than him?
Yeah, I think he's gotten better as a scorer around the rim.
Okay.
It used to clearly be Anthony Davis. It probably still is, but Jaren Jackson, he has great touch around the rim.
So it's more of a
I think
conversation now. So it's more of a conversation.
Yeah, I think it's
now.
more of a conversation. I think the scoring is almost equal, but I think Jaren Jackson is a way better shooter than Anthony Davis.
I think Anthony Davis shoots the long ball at like 29%. I think Jaren Jackson shoots it at something like a little bit higher than that, like 31 to 32%. Jaren Jackson doesn't have the mid-range game that Anthony Davis has. He's never had it, and I don't think Anthony Davis will ever diminish that. Anthony Davis is much better than him at the rim. I think he's better than him in transition. And I think he's better than him on the box. As a scorer, or overall as a scorer, I think he's better than Jaren Jackson. And with the defense, I don't think it's a question. I think he's a better rim protector. I think he's a better one-on-one defender. I think he's a better rim protector. I think he's smarter than Jaren Jackson all the way around. In fact, he owns Jaren Jackson when he plays him. When they play in the playoffs, he owns him.
Yeah, classic. You lost me with that one. I'm all for the Jaren Jackson praise.
Yeah,
Don't get me wrong. I like Jaren Jackson a lot, but Anthony Davis, that's something else, brother.
Yeah.
Mind you, I don't hate paying Jaren Jackson. You know what I'm saying? I want Jaren to get paid, but I don't want
franchise player. Who you building this thing around? You need a franchise player, right?
Nah, Ja. I'm building this thing around Ja, but
okay.
So
that's your franchise player then. All right.
Yeah. But still, I value Jaren and I want to keep Jaren. I don't. You know what I mean? I want to do what I can to keep Jaren Jackson. If I'm the Memphis Grizzlies, I'm hoping he doesn't get DPOY this year. Basically, is what I'm saying. You know?
That's crazy.
Well, I'm saying I just wouldn't want. I don't want to pay him all that, but I want to keep him. I value him. You know what I'm saying? I value him.
Why wouldn't you want to pay him?
If he does get I'll pay him what I got to pay him. But if he gets DPOY, then now I got to pay him $70 million a year.
The price just went
like, damn, Jaren. You know what I'm saying?
And I don't get why you want to build around Ja, because Ja is injury prone. And then on top of getting injury prone, he got all this off field stuff. I think you would rather build around a 6'10", 25.
The off the court stuff is that's old. He ain't been getting in trouble. That's old.
How do we know it's old?
Because we haven't seen it. That's why first of all, last year and on top of that, before last year, did we have any problems at the Ja off the court?
So because 1 year we didn't have any problems.
No, not 1 year, classic.
Yes, because we forget about that stuff. You let that go. You let bygones be bygones. That's why he was punished. That's why he was suspended. Because once you in America, when you serve your time, we back. Like we back.
So if you combine that with his injury history, that's a lot of red flags.
Now I was trying to agree with you because he has missed 22 games this season.
Right.
Already,
so he's got that shoulder injury. But to go back to the nonsense, I mean, that was last year. Previous to that, you hadn't had any problems with Ja off the court. Previous to that, you had that isolated incident last year where he got suspended in those 25 games. This year, you haven't had any problems out of him. So, with the exception of last year, you haven't had any issues out of Ja. So that's an isolated incident.
But that isolated incident happened twice, though.
In 1 year, that was it. You ain't had nothing going on previous to that. In 1 year, you had nothing going on since then. That's an isolated incident.
Yeah, but classic, we do got to get it moving. Yes, appreciate you pulling up. And like always, we value your opinions, brother.
Yes, sir.
All right, y'all. That was the episode of Chill with Chill. We appreciate y'all coming and kicking it with us, man. Thanks so much. I want to remind you on the way out to make sure you do not miss playback tonight. Chill will be up there with Jordan doing the Los Angeles Lakers against the Denver Nuggets. It's going to be a heck of a game. Don't be late.
Don't be there. So we will see you guys soon. Thanks for tuning in. We appreciate you. We love you guys. Until then, put on a suit, drink water, don't drink and drive. Hey, man, call your mother. When last time you talked to your mother? I just talked to my mother a couple of days ago. If you ever in the Portland area and you had too much to drink, see this dude right here? Give him a call. He'll come scoop you. He will not leave you out there. Give him a call. He got you. We will see you guys.
At least I'll call you an Uber.
He ain't just gonna lead you out there. I promise you that. He's not gonna lead you out there. He's definitely gonna come help you out. So give my man a call. But we will see you guys soon. Until then, take it light, but take it. Absolutely, man. It was good to see you guys.
All right, y'all. No doubt. All right, man. Love yourself, man. Never drink and drive, y'all.
Don't do that. Don't do that. So